Hi everyone. First of all, I hope that everyone is remaining safe. That is the most important thing. And I know that this might be somewhat chaotic, having the last 5 weeks or so of the course online, but we really can cover a lot of the same material, and we can and we will work through Get Out, and we'll have different opportunities. We'll have discussion boards, we'll have writings, we'll have all these different ways that we can engage with each other as we watch this film and then break it down. So at this point, you should have already watched the couple of videos I put on Canvas about movies in general, and you should have already watched the first 30 minutes or so of Get Out. There's a lot of information in the first 30 minutes, which will come back. So in this video, I just want to talk pretty quickly about some of the things that stick out to me and that I want us to really think about as we move forward with Get Out. So one of the main things I want us to think about is that opening shot. One of the videos I gave you for this week actually gives us, I'm going to move my screen a little bit, it actually gave us a really interesting argument. And the oil boils down to the idea that many movies give us a ton of information, maybe all of the information in the opening shot. All right, now Get Out is going to do something somewhat similar. It's going to give us, certainly in the first few minutes, a lot of information. But the trick is, we don't know exactly how to break it down. We don't know how to understand it. So you can have in the back of your mind Stephen King's The Man Who Loved Flowers. In that story, we are given a lot of information in the first page or so. We just haven't been given enough. We haven't been given the key to actually understand that information. So we can actually think about the opening of Get Out and of any movie in the very same way. Now, in that opening shot, all right, and I originally wanted to walk everyone through in this video a couple of scenes, but the audio ended up being weird and not working that well, so I'm just going to talk about it. So in the opening shot, we have the camera positioned at the front of a sidewalk. So off to the left of the screen and towards the bottom of the screen are just complete blackness. And that was done in a particular way. It's actually really hard to do on film, to play with light that way. So they positioned the camera so that the street lamp, is in front of us and kind of off to the right. And so what that does is it creates the light in front of us and beyond us so that we can see down the sidewalk, but we have all this information on the left, all this information below us, and some information on the right that we can't actually see. So visually, in that first scene, our eyes can track down the sidewalk. Then, once that scene is established, and you may have noticed this, the camera doesn't follow that sidewalk. It goes back. All right, in the first couple minutes of the film, we actually have our eyes going in one direction, all right, down the sidewalk in front of us, and we have the camera, and it's literally someone moving back with it on a cart, all right? So it's moving back away from that. So as we do that, we get to see more and more of the darkness to the left and in the middle of the screen. Then we have that that character coming from the right who's on his cell phone, and he is eventually tracked by someone in their car. All right, there's a lot of information in that scene. I'm really interested to see what you guys think of it. The other thing I want to talk about in terms of the opening of the movie has to do with how Rose, so this is Allison Williams' character, and Chris, this is Daniel Kaluuya's character, how these two characters are set up early on in the movie. So the first couple minutes is actually what's called a spliced shot. So basically what this means is that you can film one narrative for a little bit, switch over to another one, all right, show it for a little bit, and then go back and forth. So in the first couple minutes, when we have these two characters, you'll have Chris, so Daniel Kaluuya's character, shaving and getting ready in the morning. You'll have a couple seconds of him. The camera will shift over to Allison Williams' character, so Rose, at a bakery buying some food. You'll have that for a few seconds, and then it's going to go back and forth and back and forth. All right, this is incredibly important. So it's actually getting us to think about what happens when these two different narratives and these two different perspectives converge. All right, and the other thing I want to say is just a general thing to kind of keep in the back of your mind as you continue to watch the movie. I want us to really think about how genre, so here it's the horror genre or the suspense genre, whatever you want to call it, how it can be used to think about society, how it can be used to create a social critique. And I think that this movie is a pretty profound and interesting social critique of not just race, right? But how racial prejudice or any prejudice gets us to think about someone else. And there is a really, at least for me, a really expansive commentary here that basically includes all of us. It includes not just how we act and how we talk, but how we think, right? What sort of thought processes allow us to think about people in a certain way. And sometimes what happens with race is you stop seeing them as people, right? You stop, or certainly with racial prejudice, you stop seeing them as people. You start seeing them as vessels. And we'll come back to that as the movie kind of progresses. But I just wanted to throw out those couple of ideas just so you have something to work with in terms of thinking about the beginning of the film and the first 30 minutes. And also, especially the question about suspense and horror, how it gets us to think about race. I want you to have that just going forward. All right, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to send me a text message, send me an email. If you're really stumped and really, really need to talk on the phone, give me a call. And good luck with everything. I hope that you enjoy the movie.